Hey guys, what is up? Webpack Mining here. How you guys all doing? Hope you're doing really well and have a really great day. In this video, I want to talk to you all about the state of GPUs and just everything from LHR to, RTX 3080, non-LHRs, and I'm going to talk about the A2000s and just talk about a lot of different things that I've been seeing through my eyes, and I just want to give you guys my perspective and opinions about everything. And near the later half of the video, it's going to be a really long video, but I want to talk about just certain reasons that may or may not have affected the pricing of PC hardware and GPUs, and the availability as well, for obvious reasons I think most of you guys already know. But I want to talk about first the aspect of how crypto has gone up a lot this year, so you guys understand that profitability wise, mining on graphics cards has been utterly amazing for, I think, for the past year and a half, to be honest, since the DeFi summer of 2020. I think it began in like July of 2020. That's when Ethereum started to have really high transaction fees, and the block rewards were really high. And so we were all able to garner all of that profitability, right? And it was really good. It was really good. And so mining was just great back then. And it started to obviously ramp up in beginning of January of 2021, more so in January 2021. So what I wanted to just correlate that with is the pricing of, an RTX 3080. And so I made a video back in January 11th of 2021, and it was called "Who is Buying GPUs Way Over MSRP for Ethereum Mining? Please Stop." And I made a video, I think another 7 or 8 months later, saying that I was wrong. You should have been buying these GPUs. Like an RTX 3080 back in January, January 10th of 2021 was $1,400. This was for a 3080 non-LHR, right? These are non-LHR GPUs back then. You can get like 100 mega hash on their OG 3080s. And so it was great. It was great. And at that time, I believed that buying GPUs at that price was just horrible. But then lo and behold, literally like 4 or 5 months later, I made a video April 23rd of 2021, RTX 3080s jumped all the way up to 2,200. 2,600. I think at the most I've seen was like $29,000 or $3,000 for an RTX 3080. Okay, so you can see the price difference there after a couple months. That, of course, Bitcoin price from, let's say, beginning of January was about 30,000, and literally at the height, May or April, the previous 60K that we hit was 60K back in April, May. So look at that. Right? And look at us now. We're back over 60K, right? I know it looks red here, but obviously we're still up if you guys look at it in a bigger long-term chart here. But anyways, during that time, GPUs were really expensive during the height, right? The 60K mark. Profitability was incredible, okay? During this time, April, May, you can see here, May, I do remember when this hike up. This is on a 1 gigahash scale. If people are looking at this chart here, this is on cryptex.org. And on 1,000 megahash, okay, so like 10 3080s, non-LHRs, of course, they were profiting at about $235 a day. Okay, $235 a day, which was just incredible. Incredible just on 1,000 megahash or 1 gigahash, okay? And so let's fast forward, we're fast forwarding up until, we're passing the LHR cards. I'm still talking about non-LHR cards here, 3080s. You can see here, they're going for about $2,000, $1,900 on eBay right now. There's a $2,300 one here, $2,000, $2,000. But you can see here the pricing for these non-LHR ones going on eBay, recently sold October 21st of 2021. It's not as high as it was back in April, May, okay? So I just wanted to give you guys that context there of, pricing before for these GPUs were definitely a lot worse. So with that, talking about LHR cards now, okay? So I think a lot of people recently that I've been hearing, and all of you guys, including myself, okay, I have a bunch of 3070 Ti's, and then I have a bunch of 3060s, the LHR V2s, and honestly, they're okay. Like, they're great for mining right now. Like, right now because of how the market is right now. Okay, the prices of these coins, depending on what coin you're mining, has gone a lot higher than the network hash rates. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. There's just not enough hardware out there to take advantage of the current prices of these coins, right? And you can see here the network hash rate for Ethereum, for example, has been just going up and up and up and up and up every single day. We had a drop, of course, but that was because of China, I believe, shutting down. But since then, it's been going up and up and up. Everyone's been mining Ethereum because it's obviously profitable right now. So as of right now, on a 1 gigahash scale, on 1000 megahash, that's about $81. So I would say a couple months ago, maybe the first Q1 or Q2 of 2021, 1 gigahash scale, maybe averaging about $100 or $120 a day mining on Ethereum on 1 gigahash. But now we're at like $80 a day, which is still incredible. Okay, comparing it to what it was maybe during 2 years ago during the bear market, 2 or 3 years ago. I have many profit videos showing like an RX 580 making like 10 cents a day during the bear market when, at 10 cents kilowatt hour. And now, just as an example, let me just show you guys an RX 580, hit calculate. Right now, a 580, a 5-year-old graphics card at 30 mega hash can make $2.12 right now. And, if I were to tell you back in January, to buy RX 580s for, I don't know, depending on how much they were back then, I think they were like $100, $200 maybe in January. But even 2 years ago, RX 580s were going for, let me just search it up here. RX 580, 8 gigabyte. These were going for $160, $80, 2 years ago. Now they're going for like $500, which is just nuts. Do I recommend buying these? No. I would definitely put your money towards newer age GPUs and all that stuff. But going along with talking about, I'm going off topic here. I was just talking about LHR cards. There's a lot of people buying the 3060 Ti's. I can see that, and generally these have been coming in stock on Amazon, Newegg, 3080 Ti's on Newegg. But man, the pricing of these GPUs is just ridiculous in my opinion. For this price, the 3080 Ti, $2,300, $1,900 on Newegg here, I would rather put my money towards the non-LHR 3080, all right? Non-LHR 3080. If you're able to get your hands on these are obviously a dime a dozen now. So that's another thing that I am going to talk about NVIDIA, that they're like controlling the markets and anyways, I'll talk about that later. I want to just go through LHR cards that, in my opinion, a lot of people and a lot of new miners coming in are buying LHR cards for mining, and because it's available. That's it. They're just available. I don't think many people really care about the prices of these cards because I guess depending what your risk tolerance is, that you believe mining is going to be profitable for the next, if you're assuming that you can get your money back, break even on it in like a year, and dependent on if you think about your resale value and all that stuff. And then for me personally, my long-term vision of just crypto in general and hodling, that it's going to go up and up and up in the future. All right, it may go down. We're probably going to have major swings, but that's a risk that I'm willing to take. And for those that are going to be getting into mining now, you have to understand your risks, that, the money that you're going to be putting into buying these types of GPUs right now, it's expensive, right? It's really expensive right now compared to what it was maybe 2 years ago when RTX 3080, or I just showed you guys, like the 3080s, non-LHRs back in January, they were under like, if you could buy them at MSRP at that time at Best Buy, they were $899, right? $1,000. And then they were selling on eBay. They're being scalped for another couple $100 more at $1,400. But even then, during January, it was actually a good buy. But who knew? Who knew that crypto, the prices right now of crypto would still be at where they are today, right? The pricing of Bitcoin, of course, it did go back down to 32,000. But look at this. That was back in July 15th. And lo and behold, a couple months later, here we are in October, 3 months later, Bitcoin is back up to 63,000. So it's very volatile, of course, crypto, Bitcoin, that whatever we're doing right now, Bitcoin crypto is very volatile. So you have to understand that if in the next couple months, if we potentially hit the new all-time high, which a lot of people have been talking about, and after that, the eventual potential bear market comes around, ROI or break-even time, whatever term you guys want to use, for the GPUs that you bought, let's say this $2,300 3080 Ti, is going to be drawing out a lot longer. Okay, so if your average, let's say that you wanted to get your money back within a year, okay, like as a business, which is amazing. I would say like a conventional business would take 2 to 3 to 4 years in order to make money or something. But looking at GPUs on the best GPUs for mining on Cryptex, just looking at the payback period here, you can see here like let's say a 6800 RX 6800, 327 days. These are at the prices of buying these at $1,500. Okay. And just let's say a 5700 XT, $1,000 payback of about 218 days. Going down here, let's look at the 3060 Ti LHR. Okay, so here we go. Real world situation. So $1,000, $1,040 according to Cryptex here, and payback is in about 323 days at, let's say you're mining Ethereum. All right, so 41 mega hash. It's using the LHR unlock on all of those LHR software like T-Rex Miner, LOL Miner, and so on. So look at that. It's making about $100 a month. Okay, this is at a month profit scale. Okay, daily though, if you want to look at daily on a 3060 Ti, it's like $3.22. So yeah, it's like under a year as of right now. But do you think within a year that, if these prices stay the same as it is right now, that you're gonna break even within a year? That's something that you'll have to ask yourself. You'll have to understand what your risk tolerance is. If you're going into this with extra money that you had laying around. You guys know how the saying goes, don't invest more than you can afford to lose, right? And, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're, you're living off crypto, you're selling every day, that really sucks because, in my opinion, hodling crypto, and this is not financial advice, but as we've seen now for the past 10, 11 years of crypto, that holding crypto for the long term has definitely done a lot better than anything that has come about, right? Bitcoin has gone up way more than a lot of stocks and a lot of other conventional means of investing. I would say Bitcoin now is becoming more a conventional means of investing now. So it's interesting to look at that. And, crypto, I feel like, is here to stay, but it's very volatile. And, you guys invest at your own risk. Just understand the risks especially when you're getting into mining. One thing I also try to tell people is just think long term, because when your emotions take over, when the market goes down, just way down, and your profitability, you're looking at what to mine is just down in the dumps and you're just so sad about it, just know, if you believe in crypto long term, if you believe in it as a financial asset, a new financial paradigm, that crypto is here to stay for the long term. If you understand crypto fundamentally, then you won't be too stressed out. But of course, everyone's financial situation is different, and I understand everyone's electrical cost is definitely a huge factor, okay, when it comes to mining. And so, I know there's some people with 30 cents, 20 cents per kilowatt hour. And, if the bear market comes, if the, eventually comes, which, that's a hard thing to gauge right now because there's a lot of things at play. So here is a good segue. Actually, before I do that, I want to talk about the A2000s. Now, these GPUs, all right, but before I talk about other stuff here, these GPUs, I saw a video from Dizzy Mining. You guys should definitely go subscribe to him, by the way. He has a hash rate video of the RTX A2000. And it does like 40 to 41 mega hash at like 66 watts, which is incredible. That's, I think, one of the most efficient GPUs ever. And I tried to get my hands on some, but it's already like out of stock, already pre-ordered to the moon. And I think a lot of people already ordered it. So I guess I will eventually get one and do a rig of it, but that'll be down the road. So this is quite interesting. These A2000s, they're little tiny GPUs, like they're really small. This is a low profile IO bracket. Okay, it's not the full size IO bracket. It's the half size, like low profile. So I know it looks kind of big here, but it's actually really small. So pretty cool. I definitely would like to test one later down the road. Anyways, guys, let's go along. Let's go along. This video will be really long, but I know a lot of you like to get my thoughts and opinions and just like to hear me talk for some reason. I don't know why. I think my voice is horrible, but let's go. Now, I want to talk about reasons that may or may not have affected PC/GPU hardware pricing and availability. So again and again and again, I've been getting the comments from a lot of people, like a lot of gamers especially. It's like, mining has screwed the GPU market. And you know what? I say, yes, we're definitely a part of it, but there's definitely a bigger picture here that goes along with the reasons why things have gotten so out of hand. GPUs of costs have gone up to the moon, among a lot of other things. Okay, it's not just computer hardware, but food, cost of living, a bunch of stuff. Anyways, going off a tangent, I'm just going to read a lot of stuff here, not in any particular order, but the first one is pandemic. Okay, people stayed home, right? There's lockdowns, quarantine. So in turn, that brought out businesses, a lot of businesses, to turn to work from home, remote work from home. And the employees then had to, a lot of them, I would say, were required to buy computers, laptops, webcams, anything that they need to work from home. So this whole list that I'm going to go through, guys, is just like little minute reasons that has affected everything as a whole, okay? But specifically on GPU hardware, okay? So just giving some, just a little context there for you all. I don't want you all to yell at me saying, Red Panda, you're wrong. But I would definitely would love your guys' opinion on why PC GPU hardware pricing is available. I want your guys' opinion as well. But I'm just going through, I wrote some things down here that I think the reason why that, for me, that my opinion. All right, guys, I'm just letting you know. Anyways, going along, remote school learning. Students requiring laptops, tablets at home, Zoom, Google Classroom. Students have been required to go out and buy these kind of hardware to do school at home. And that was during a certain time. I think now I would say a lot of schools have gone back to school. But that was, I would say, maybe a year and a half ago when lockdowns were a lot more prevalent back then, a year or two ago. Here we are today, though. I don't think this is much of an issue, but it was definitely an issue like a year ago. And so that caused a massive demand for these types of things, right? Going along, gamers, gaming. All right, this is definitely a big one in my opinion as well. So with the pandemic, okay, people staying home and all that kind of stuff, I would say a lot of kids were definitely getting into PC gaming, right? And they were wanting to upgrade their PCs or buy the latest GPUs to play the latest and greatest games, right? And then another thing is that esports it has grown just massive in the past couple of years, in my opinion. More so this past year because YouTube, Twitch.tv, everyone's been watching those types of platforms a lot more. You know, and people staying home, lockdown, quarantine, whatever, what have you. People don't want to go out as much. A lot of people are watching, you know, streams. So with that, there's just been this growing demand for PCs, GPUs, all that kind of stuff. All right. So that has basically caused like a cascading effect of all of this right here to have an effect on just everything in terms of what pricing is and availability is today. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm getting at, but this I would say is a pretty big one. All right, next one, silicon chip shortage. Okay, the demand. All right, so automakers, hospital equipment, computer components, a lot more out there, but this is just general, a lot of headline news regarding these types of things that were just not in stock. A lot of automakers having trouble keeping up with not having their chips for their cars. We've seen the many headlines of that. And of course, the price hikes of cars and trucks these days have gone astronomical because of the demand. And of course, hospital equipment. All right. This is something where during the pandemic, and I would say still till this day, the hospital equipment, especially the respirators and, you know, those types of machines, they require chips as well. And so that was being hindered for the hospital industry. Okay. The next one, computer components. That's a given. Next one, TSMC, Samsung Foundries, filling orders that were previously approved a year before. So a lot of, I would say, NVIDIA, AMD, let's say Apple, those companies placed their orders previously, and the demand, they just couldn't keep up with it. The orders that they placed just wasn't enough to keep up with the demand that happened when the pandemic came. All right, so not sure if that makes sense to you all, but now Apple, and I think Nvidia, now they have been ramping up production because of the demand. So who knows if it's going to get better? Not quite sure when. That's still up in the air. I mean, it seems like we've been seeing GPUs in stock, but they're definitely inflated in price. They're still not MSRP. They're like fake MSRP, which I'm going to talk about in a sec. Everything that requires silicon. So in Yunnan, Sichuan, in China, the metal silicon producers were hindered. So especially this year, we've heard of power outages in China, and also the quarantine protocols caused significant impact on manpower. And so this is coming back to the source of what types of supply is needed for the silicon to be produced. It's just everything. It's just everything. The pandemic has definitely caused this whole thing at a top level. Okay, you can just say the pandemic has caused the reason for the PC GPU hardware pricing availability, not just crypto miners. I'm trying to dive deeper into the reasons within the reasons. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, guys, the next one I want to talk about is the Trump tariffs. Okay, this is definitely a big one, I would say, for my American friends, especially. Most of you guys that watch my channel are in USA. And, there was tariffs that were put upon, right? The range was about 7.5 to 25%. And so definitely that affected GPUs. And I remember that, when those tariffs came in, man, the retailers hiked the prices on GPUs. You all saw that, right? And it was terrible, right? There was news from Asus as well. Asus had to hike the prices of their GPUs at their level, right? And then, when the distributors or the retailers buy from the distributor, it's higher on their end as well. So logistically, manufacturally, is that a word? Manufacturer, so this also boils down to the quarantine protocols at the manufacturing level, right? So manpower is impacted on the brands that are producing, manufacturing the GPUs itself, right? Not TSMC, but TSMC, they're producing the chips, right? The silicon for the GPUs, but then there's manufacturers like Asus, EVGA that are producing the GPUs, right? So obviously there's going to be impact on manpower on that level. Anyways, going along, next one, scalpers and bots that are affecting the GPU market. Obviously, I would say this is a huge one. We all know the state of eBay. Everyone can go on there, see what recently sold is on there. And I just talked about it earlier in this video, and that it's incredible, right? The pricing of our GPUs are being scalped, and retailers are definitely scalping GPUs. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. The MSRP or fake MSRP, it's very prevalent in today's climate in buying GPUs. It's just nuts. It's just nuts because of this. And so yeah, retailers are definitely to blame, and the scalpers and bots. All right. So anyways, going along, crypto mining and the bull run of Bitcoin 2021. And realistically, though, it started in the DeFi summer of July of 2020, in my opinion. That's when profitability started to ramp up for GPU mining. I was there. I was even there during the bear market. And I still remember it. I still remember this happening, and the block rewards on Ethereum were getting really high. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I'll show you right here. The Ethereum hash rate during the DeFi summer was right here, July 3rd, 2020. Okay, so the network hash rate for Ethereum was only 188 terahash, and you were able to yield a lot of Ethereum during this time. And then now, man, we're definitely yielding, I would say, 4 times less than what we were able to get back last year. With crypto mining, you guys all know, obviously the demand for buying GPUs, even till this day, since July of 2020, in my opinion, has gone to the moon, right? We're all, even myself, we're still buying GPUs, right? We're not, like a single gamer buying one GPU. No, we're people, like, we're all addicted to GPU mining. Let's not kid ourselves here. We're all buying GPUs left, right, and center, and it has definitely caused a situation where we are a part of the scalpers. We're a part of the bots. We're a part of all of this that pretty much equates to the reasons that have affected what has happened today for the climate of, the GPU hardware pricing. I guess what I'm saying is we are to blame. We're one of the reasons to blame here. And it doesn't help that, people are buying RX 580s for $500. Okay. It's ridiculous, right? These used to literally a year and a half to 2 years ago, These used to cost like $60 to $80. I remember you could buy these 580 8 GB cards for like less than $100. And you know, it doesn't help that obviously it's profitable right now. Okay, that's obviously a huge reason that people are buying GPUs, obviously, is to make money, right? And you know, the funny thing is that during the bear market, it was the best time to mine. It was the best time to mine. It's the best time to buy GPUs because first, you're getting GPUs for cheap. Second, you're also mining at the same time and able to yield coins that on a greater scale because the network hash rates for all of these coins, especially Ethereum, was so low during this time that you were able to garner or yield a lot more Ethereum. I've made plenty of videos showing that the difference there from mining back then and mining up until now. Okay, like on an RX 580, like it's 0.006 now. And I would say back in a year and a half ago is probably able to yield about 0.0, I think 6 or 5 or 8 or something, like almost 4 times more, able to yield like 4 times more Ethereum on an RX 580. And of course, dependent on the block rewards at that time, it changed all the time because they were, you know, high and low. And yeah, it was, you know, the minimum is 2 Ethereum per block. But then, yeah. Anyways, it's been amazing this year, this whole year for crypto mining. It's been a massive boom, and I can't believe it's lasted this long, to be honest. It's definitely lasted very long, and I just don't know when the end in sight is coming. Like, it's nice. I'm not complaining, but I'm just also being very cautious. I have to be because we've been here before. And the reason why, it's just, I have to be cautious because my risk tolerance is that, you know, for me, it's okay now. But back in 2017, it was definitely rough, and it was definitely a shocker to a lot of people, and people had to liquidate their mining rigs during 2017, 2018, during the bear market. This bull run that we've had, since we've had such high sustained profitability, I just don't know if the bear market is going to be big as it was in 2017. It's going to really depend if the market, like Bitcoin, goes down below 30K, goes back down to 10K or something. Then if that happens, then yeah, we're going to have a bear market. We're going to have cheap graphics cards again, buying GPUs for cheap. Yeah, it's going to happen. It'll happen. But when? Okay, when is the question? I think I heard a lot of people saying the bear market was back here, back in, April, May. But look at us now. If you just kept mining through the thick and thin and hodled up until now again, you're back up again. So we don't know. Nobody knows when the bear market's coming. That's a risk that a lot of people have to understand, and especially just understand for those that are getting into mining now that anything can happen. Okay, anything can happen. Anyways, I'm going off too many tangents here. You guys, I don't know who's with me here still, but man, if you're still here, let me know. Anyways. Number 6, guys, this video is really long. NVIDIA/Ngridia. Okay. This whole year, I have to say, they have not been helping gamers. Like, actually, they have not been helping gamers at all. I don't care what anyone says. They implemented the CMP line. Okay. The CMP, the crypto mining processor GPUs, which I hope to God none of you guys bought. Okay. I made a video about that. So basically, what I mean by that is, you know, silicon set aside for CMP, they're controlling the used market, and they're making the gaming GPUs, like the regular, you know, NVIDIA 30 series GPUs, more scarce. And so what that's going to do is cause the prices of these GPUs to go up so high because they set aside a bunch of silicon for the CMP line, which I think a lot of big farmers bought. A lot of big industrial sized farmers probably bought these GPUs, which is all great and all. Good for them. Good for them. They made a lot of money. They can buy these GPUs. Good for them. But for the gamer, okay, I'm talking about gamers here. They're being screwed over when they made this lineup here. It's just brutal. And then on top of that, I did test the 30HX, and it was horrible. It wasn't optimized at all. It definitely took a lot more power than a 1660 Ti, 1660 Super. And these GPUs, like regular 1660 Ti Supers, performed a lot better than the 30HX. It cost a lot more. I bought it on Alibaba for like $900 or something stupid. I definitely regret buying it, but it was horrible. I don't recommend anyone to buy this GPU. Okay, next point here is halting production of the RTX 3000 series GPUs. Now, I heard that this is potentially a rumor. I'm not sure if it's true, but there was a YouTuber, I forgot his name. I think I saw it. There's also news articles about it that they are going to, halt the production of GPUs, the 3000 series. And what that's going to do is they want to prevent the price crash from occurring on the existing GPUs. They want to keep artificially keep the fake MSRP as high as possible until it launches the next gen GPUs. So that's terrible. If that's what NVIDIA's goal is to do, I get it that they're a business, but man, that's why. That is why we are seeing the pricing of all this hardware that we're seeing today, guys. It's NVIDIA, I would say, is definitely one of the biggest reasons that, they're just essentially trying to protect their bottom line, which, they're a business. Okay, they're a business. They got to make money. They got to make profits. They have a lot of employees. I understand that. But man, they are screwing over everybody. And it's just, a lot of people are not happy. Okay, and then the final point that I have here is money printer go burr. I think this is a point that's been said many times, but I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but there's inflation, obviously, and cost of living has gone up considerably. Okay, so with that, obviously cost of living has gone up. There's no doubt in my mind that is why GPUs, power supplies, hardware, what have you, everything has gone up. And so, that's it, guys. I think this video is way too long. Please let me know what you think, and let me know if I missed any points here of potential reasons of, why that, that has affected PC GPU hardware pricing and availability. If there's any other reasons, please let me know. I feel like I've gotten most of the points here, but if there's something else that I missed, please let me know down below, and let me know if you made it to the end of the video. And man, this is one of the longest videos I've ever made, but oh man, there was so much more I wanted to talk about 6700s and versus the 2070 Super. I'm going to leave that for another video, and I want to know what you all think down below of the state of GPU mining or buying GPUs and hardware, all that stuff, and if you guys agree or disagree. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Have a good one, and peace out.